Good evening. That's better. Good evening. Welcome to VDOT's second question and answer session for the I-495 Express Lanes Northern Extension Project, also called 495 Next. My name is Michelle Holland with the Virginia Department of Transportation's Mega Projects Office, and I will serve as the host for tonight's question and answer session. This is the second of two question and answer sessions on the 495 Next project. The first session was held this past Monday evening, September 28th. A recording of that session is available on our project website at 495northernextension.org. The agenda for tonight includes a brief presentation followed by an open question and answer session. The meeting is intended to be informal and offer opportunities for the public to interact with our project team. This is similar to the interaction that occurs during the open house period that we normally offer at the start of our in-person public meetings. Tonight's question and answer session is separate from the project's formal hearing or formal location and design public hearing. We have scheduled a virtual public hearing for this project for Monday, October 5th, and an in-person by appointment only public hearing on Thursday, October 8th. Please visit our webpage. I'll repeat that web address again, 495northernextension.org, to learn more about the upcoming public hearings. On that site, you can also see draft design plans for the project and the environmental assessment documents, as well as the display boards and other materials that would be part of a traditional in-person public hearing. Questions and answers from tonight's session will not be included in the public hearing record. If you wish to submit input or a formal comment to be included in the project's public record, please do so at one of the hearings or through one of the other comment methods that we will go over later tonight. Tonight's session is being streamed live and recorded on our VDOT Live YouTube channel and will be available tomorrow on our project website. Before we begin the meeting tonight, I'd like to review some guidelines so everyone can participate and get the most out of tonight's meeting. First and foremost, we want to point out that we are new at hosting large meetings virtually, so we do ask for everyone's patience and understanding as we apply new technologies and work through how best to conduct public meetings. There may be some technical glitches, and we may find that some procedures do need to be adjusted to improve the meeting experience. Please bear with us as we conduct the meeting tonight. Attendees will be muted throughout the duration of the meeting to minimize background noise and ensure that all participants can hear. When it is time to ask questions, we will ask you to unmute yourself when you're called on, or we will unmute you. Once we kick off the question and answers portion of tonight's meeting, we will open the chat function to everyone on WebEx. WebEx participants will be asked to type their question in the chat box. We will read the questions aloud and answer them in the order received. If you would like to read your own question, just type in your name and that you have a question in the chat box. Once we get to your name in the queue, we will unmute and call on you to go ahead and ask your question. We will turn off the chat function in intervals so that we can be sure to keep up and respond to all of the questions that we are receiving. When the chat function is on, all participants will be able to see all messages. We ask that you only write in questions. The chat function should not be used for any other type of commentary during the meeting. Any individual who does not abide by our ground rules or who submits anything inappropriate will be asked to leave the meeting. Participants who have joined the meeting by calling will be instructed to press *3 to raise their hand. Once we see your hand raised, you will be added to the queue to ask your question. We will unmute your phone line and announce when it is your turn to ask your question. You will hear your line has been unmuted so that you know it's your turn to ask your question. Once phone participants have asked their question, they will be asked to press *3 again to lower their hand, and again will be muted to avoid echo and feedback. People who are watching tonight's meeting through YouTube will not be able to ask questions from the YouTube application. You can certainly call in, though, on the WebEx phone line if you do want to ask a question. I would like to now recognize and welcome any of our elected officials or officials who have joined us at today's meeting and thank them for coming. We'd like to welcome Delegate Murphy for being here this evening. Thank you, Delegate. We'd like to welcome Supervisor Faust for being here. Thank you, Supervisor. And I'd also like to welcome our Commonwealth Transportation Board Northern Virginia member,